All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Welcome back. It's a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odem. I'm your host, J.O., and I'm not alone. I've got my good friend, returning guest. You could probably do the intro for him. He's a giant in the transportation injury. Are there a lot of injuries in your business?
That is.
Is that something we're not going to talk about?
Falsified.
Yeah. All right, transportation business. He was the 8th speaker at Central. Now I'm downplaying. You were the 5th speaker at Central. He is a former fantasy football champion of the world. He's got love in his heart today. It's Eric Larson, one of my best friends. He is here, and it's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's week.
I'm excited to be here. Excited to get into this topic.
Yeah,
long-time listener of the show. Feels like the first time I've ever been in the studio.
Yeah, he walks in and he's like, "Oh, new setup." And I go, "No, exact same setup as the last time you were here. It will be a little different next time you're here, but yes, it is the exact same."
In my defense, I mean, the beers were full on the desk when I walked in.
Yeah,
and that is not how we left the studio last time.
Yeah, that is true. There's nothing wrong with having a few beverages while you record a podcast. In fact, I believe more podcasts may be more enjoyable if you enjoyed a few beverages along the way.
Well, I mean, you hit our topic. I mean, love.
Yeah.
I mean, to talk about love, sometimes you need a little of that honesty juice.
You know, that's the thing. And we've got, I don't even know. Did you know I've got a sign in the studio, handmade, says love on it? You didn't even know this. You probably have never even noticed that piece of artwork.
Well, I saw it. I didn't realize the heart was supposed to be the O.
That is the O.
I thought it was just the LVE, the Volleyball Association.
Las Vegas Entertainment. Like, what kind of bullshit are you promoting in here? No. It's love. Love is in the air. Love is on the walls. It is Valentine's week, and that's what we're here to talk about Valentine's Day. It's funny because it could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, and that's kind of, I think, where we're heading today. Is that this subject, it's so deep, and everything involved Valentine's Day, it has various different meanings. I one thing, though, right off the top, I want to, put out there, because I don't think a lot of people know this, but Valentine's Day, I mean, I guess it depends on it's all relative. It's not that old.
Really?
Yeah, it started in 1910. Did you know that? That's honestly, when you think of things that we've just been a part of our entire lives, that's not that long ago.
Well, and all the events, I mean, a big event when it hits that anniversary, I mean, normally you have that 100 years in retrospect, or you have that big thing. Where was the 2010 Valentine's Centennial celebration?
Yep, it was invented by Joyce Clyde Hall in Kansas City, Missouri in 1910. She owned a company called Hall Brothers. Eventually, in 1954, she changed that business name to something you all are going to know about, Hallmark Company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1910.
Joyce sounds like an Irish name.
Joyce?
I mean, the Irish aren't necessarily some people you think of as sensual.
No.
So do you think this was overcompensating on their part?
It very well could be. That's funny. So Valentine's Day, February 14th, at least this year, it's on February 14th. I don't know. I've known a lot of Valentine's Days. It kind of falls around depending on the day, right? This year it's on the 14th. It always falls on a Friday, right?
No, it always falls on the 14th.
Okay. I thought it was a Friday thing.
No. And see, this is probably a common thing because, I mean, for anybody who's watched a sitcom in their life, I mean, it's tough to keep track of the date.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost like an assumed plot. these shows get into that 40th, 50th episode. They're shooting blanks at this point. Like, what else can we talk about? Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day. What day is it on? I don't know. Friday? No. It's got a date. It's on the
14th. Well, that's something that I was unaware. So we're learning today. We're learning a little bit about the very special holiday of Valentine's Day.
When this show comes out, it's going to be right before Valentine's Day, the 14th.
The 14th.
This is your call to action.
The 14th. Yeah. So, this is a time where a lot of people generally buy flowers, candy. Myself working in, the grocery business for a long time. This was a busy time, generally the day before, generally Valentine's Day, especially, sometimes the day after. A lot of times it's a lot of work in the build up to it, and then it's just chaos the day of to get the flowers out, to get the chocolates out, all those last minute fellas. It's such a last minute holiday.
I love that you said sometimes the day after.
Yep.
You got these, that would probably be me, the bargain shopper.
Shopper.
I mean, I'm not paying retail for this, Reese's peanut butter cup. That's a foot wide in the shape of a heart.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this over in the dog food aisle. I'm going to, pick it up tomorrow and get 20% off on it.
It's funny because it's on a Friday this year. We've covered this deeply now. There will be people who are going to have, what their quote unquote Valentine's date is on a Saturday on the 15th.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people waiting to do any type of shopping for that until the morning or the afternoon of the 15th to do that very thing, to get the discounted candy, to get the discounted flowers even, to save a buck for Valentine's Day. It's a real thing.
Another important thing to just throw out there. Don't hide chocolate in the dog food aisle. That was a poor choice. I was just thinking on my feet. Dogs, chocolate, they don't go together.
They do not go together.
Do not hide the chocolate next to the dog food.
Yeah, that's quite dangerous for the pups.
So, a public service announcement. That's the second one.
Public service announcement.
That's the second one.
Do not tie in chocolate with dog food. That's, you know what? That's going to save lives. I've got a few. Here's the few things I just told you. Valentine's Day to me, it's like it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
For me, in the past. One time though, I got to miss and skip the whole thing. It's because I got very, very sick. I had severe strep throat I missed 3 days of work right over Valentine's Day. I had a very high fever, super sick. I was seeing shit. It was weird.
So probably too late for the listening audience to do that now.
Yeah, at this point,
you had to start laying the groundwork for that before.
Yep.
3 days.
Yeah, out. If you were somebody who was wanting to be sick for Valentine's Day, I mean, yeah, you would have put yourself in position to get those germs 5 days ago.
God, well, that's where it becomes even tougher, not knowing what day Valentine's Day is,
and it makes it tough.
I mean, if you're just randomly firing on February,
yeah,
could you imagine how Could you imagine, being sick the 10th, 11th, and 12th? Because then you have the recovery time.
Yep, and then you're back.
And I mean, the expectation is going to be that you're ready to go. You can't milk that 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
One day you can.
One day you can be like, I didn't sleep well, but 2 days, no, sympathy's gone.
I will say, being sick over that time, I thought I was going to get oh man, we got you. Hope you feel better, get rest, get ready, then come back, and then, we'll take a break, and then you'll take over from there. And instead I got, why weren't you at work? We needed you. It was super busy. Hope you enjoyed your time off. I was like, no, I was very, very sick. Also,
meanwhile, there's a pallet of candy that's just completely missed Valentine's Day because you were gone.
Because I was gone. Also around Valentine's Day, and a lot of people don't think about this, generally the NBA All-Star Weekend falls around Valentine's Day, and it is happening again this weekend. With Valentine's on Friday, you've got NBA All-Star Saturday the next day, and then the game on Sunday as well.
Every time I think of Valentine's Day, I think of the NBA All-Star.
You
are so right.
Yep.
You're so right.
And staying on the sports topic, we're a few years away from the Super Bowl falling on Valentine's Day. That's going to be a special one, because what are people going to do? Are they going to choose the game? Or are they going to choose going out on the date, and well, I mean, how are they going to spin that? Like, what's going to be the game plan there?
I mean, the Super Bowl from last Sunday probably made it more likely to just skip the game.
Just skip the game altogether.
Hey, let's skip the game. We'll watch a YouTube compilation of the commercials when after the date.
Hey, what's your thoughts on the marketing tactic now of releasing the commercials before the game and then the same commercial airing during the game?
No. I hate it. I generally don't even like the idea of when they tease the commercial, like,
right.
Oh, hey, we're going to build this up for like the last half of the football season.
Yeah.
No. That was half the fun before, was just the shock factor of not knowing what direction they were going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not appreciative of these companies that want to kind of get ahead of the competition or like start the buzz like early.
Yeah.
No, give me the commercial, and then we the viewers will tell you who won the Oscar.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
They do give Oscars for commercials, right?
They do not. There's a USA Today.
Are you telling me USA
ranking.
Today is still around?
It's still around, and it's still around. It's not the same. There's not even a lot of USA Today specific like writers like on staff. It's just they get articles and things written from consultants and like just around the country.
You know what my favorite part of the USA
There's
Today
like a
was?
network. What was that?
They put the little graph on the front. The front page
Oh, yeah.
always had like a little graph or like
always
a
had a
little
graph.
chart.
Yep.
And so I was just like, what are they gonna do today?
Right. So Monday morning when the paper came out, there was a chart for the commercials,
okay.
and it said go to the website to see the. And then on Tuesday, they had the rankings.
It's very hard to translate
the
video commercial to the
right. It was funny. I still enjoy the USA Today, but it's different. I mean, it's just a whole different deal. But yeah, they still do their rankings. They still have people like score the commercials or whatnot. Here's the thing that bothered me, because they are doing a lot of rolling out the commercials to build the buzz, and then it airs during. But there was a specific commercial that was for like Totino's pizza rolls, the one with Tim Robinson, and that full commercial we got weeks before the game to promote, for the Super Bowl, and then during the commercial for the actual ad for the Super Bowl, it was a shorter, smaller version of the ad itself that that aired. You don't even get the full joke. It was still good, but when you've seen the full ad, you're like, oh, that joke has a completely different context. When you've seen it, I don't know. I don't like that. Like, at least give us the full deal. Yeah. I didn't like that they hyped it up, build the excitement, they put this ad out, and then it's part of, it's 15 seconds or whatever it was.
I mean, I hate to call you out on this, but you sound a little heartless. I mean, we found out from the commercial that, Totino's pizza rolls cost about $1 a piece.
Yeah, we did.
So you're basically saying, like, they need to sell, like, 20 million more pizza rolls so that you can see the full version.
Yeah.
While you sit on your couch and drink your beer.
It was a funny commercial, though.
Now we are they are sponsoring us today, right?
Yeah, today's Laugh With Me is actually sponsored by that very commercial, not the company, not Totino's.
Okay.
But it's being sponsored by the marketing group that made the commercial. They're sponsoring us to talk about the commercial. There's levels to this.
Love the marketing group.
Yeah, there's levels to this. It's actually Totino's actually doesn't even know we're involved in this, but we are because of the marketing group who's hired us to promote. It's a whole thing. There's levels, things that a lot of people don't know about. So. Thanks for bringing that up, though.
Inside the business.
Yeah, this is inside baseball going on. But yeah, no, that's kind of what Valentine's Day means to me. It always meant a lot of busy time and sometimes very sick and a lot of basketball. But that's that's kind of where it's always been for me. It's different to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
I
mean, mine. I'm not married. Not having that consistent relationship all the time on Valentine's Day. So a lot of my prep for the holiday was convincing, my friends that it was not on the 14th, that it was on a different date.
Yeah.
That way I'd have somebody to hang out with.
So you tell them Valentine's Day.
I mean, apparently it's still bearing fruit.
Yeah, it's still working. Yeah, I would have been confused.
If I would have started the show by saying, hey, Jeremy, you want to hang out this Friday?
Yeah.
You probably would have been like, yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing going on. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, what?
Valentine's Day's on It's on like Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't that
yeah.
when it's always every Sunday.
Yep. It's always the Sunday after the Super Bowl.
It's the Sunday after the Super Bowl. See, that's the type of thing we need. We need more consistency with that kind of stuff. You know, people get confused still when Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the last Thursday of November?
It's like the fourth Thursday.
The fourth Thursday. There's a process to it. I know
Yeah.
that it's never always on the 23rd. And there'll be people who are like, "What day is Thanksgiving on this year?" And it's like it's Thursday. Like we're gonna definitely do this on Thursday this year, like always.
I'm imagining Kyle, like he's listening to this episode right now and he's frantically like Googling like
Are you serious?
what day is
I
Thanksgiving?
gotta plan my business.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Kyle. Well, some of the things that Valentine's Day that people kind of associate with it, I don't know, like Cupid.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a big deal, right?
I mean, kind of the original. I mean, he's a baby.
Is he?
Well, or at least he's got the babyish, the pudgy body. You could probably say he's a prototype of the dad bod craze.
Cupid. Is he? What do you think his diet's like?
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of chocolate.
Not fat shaming at all. I'm just curious. Yeah, a lot of chocolate. What does a guy like Cupid like? What's he eat on a daily basis?
You know, I mean,
chocolate. I could see that. That's he loves
that's
a
probably
sweet treat.
like a stereotypical answer on that.
You know,
I mean,
Santa eats a lot of cookies.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he eats other things, but we know about the cookies.
I mean, what do you think came first, the Valentine's Day candy, or the holiday?
Well, based on our research, I would say the holiday.
Yeah, because
And then somebody jumped in with, well, we need to. Can we sell some stuff with it? It's kind of like what came first, President's Day or furniture sales?
yeah. Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, we asked what Cupid's diet was going to be. I mean, could he be a chalky heart guy?
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, what other purpose is the chalky heart for?
So here's what you're suggesting:
Yeah,
is that it's possible that in the marketplace there was these heart-shaped chocolate boxes and heart-shaped chocolate bars, and then Valentine's Day was created, and then somebody was like, you know what? This might make sense if we just combine the two.
yeah. Great marketing.
Great marketing. I like to think the holiday came first, and then we built some chocolate parts around it.
It's interesting, you know, that we have Cupid. You know, Cupid's a recognizable thing.
Yep.
Where's the Cupid movie? Like, where's the Cupid IP? Who owns Cupid to do a movie? Like, we've got Frankenstein, we've got Dracula, we've got the Mummy. Like, those are all in that kind of group. We've got, you know, obviously Marvel and DC and all their stuff. Like, where's the Cupid universe?
Yeah. It makes you think that maybe it's not that people don't believe in Cupid. It's just that they downplay any impact that this little guy may ever have. You know, they're like, all right, it's not that there isn't a Cupid. Let's just all agree there's a Cupid out there, this little chubby ass baby. But
with a bow
and an arrow, and he can fly, right? And
I think he's got those little wings, like just little wings coming out of his back.
yeah, so there's probably like some restrictions on how far and how fast he can fly, but I think we can all assume he flies. We can all agree to that. But what his impact is in the game of love is probably very minimal, and that's why he isn't really a main player. I did do a Google search. Well, I didn't. Johnny did a Google search of Cupid movies.
Okay.
And just shot them over to me. Thanks, Johnny. And they're bad.
Oh, those all look awesome.
The first one that popped up, it's called Cupid. And then the tagline is, "It'll be a bloody Valentine this year." So it's a horror movie.
The cover of that looks like it's Golem. Like
It does kind of look like him.
That is a creepy ass Cupid.
And then you get a series of movies that do look like Hallmark movies. Like they're obviously, and it makes a lot of sense to have the one horror movie and then a whole bunch of rom-coms. You've got You're So Cupid. You've got Playing Cupid. And there's a little child in there with the man and the woman. So the child probably, I'm just guessing, that the child plays Cupid and like brings the relationship together. There's one called Cupid's Arrow. There's one called Cupid, and there's two guys laying on each other. I'm going to guess that has something to do with like online dating.
That I had to look twice at that one because I was like, geez, that's that dude's already got his pants off. But
Yeah. Christmas Cupid. So there's the mashup we've been waiting for. Gabe the Cupid dog.
oh wow,
Yeah, because you have to have a pet like related type. Christmas Cupid Zero. There's a cartoon. It's called Cupid. There's a little cartoon baby, kind of looks like the Boss Baby, and it says "Love with an Attitude." There's also a Cupid 2. So the Cupid original was so good, we needed the Cupid 2.
So all right, we're looking at these movies. I think there's two things that are obviously missing.
Yeah.
We know that Cupid's got a bow and arrow,
Yep.
and obviously this angle hasn't been tried yet. But why not make him like a badass like archer? Maybe he's like a combination of like Legolas and like Hawkeye, and he's like an assassin.
Yeah. He's an assassin, and he's, maybe somebody that he was going to ask to be his Valentine was kidnapped.
Oh, geez.
And now he's got to go on the hunt to track down who kidnapped her so that he can.
No.
Or this is just Cupid. This is Cupid's job. What he does is when girls are kidnapped, then he goes, especially around Valentine's Day, then he has to go and track them down so that their Valentine has their match. Like it's a whole because he gets hired. Cupid gets hired.
What if there's like
That's so dumb.
does Cupid have a crew?
He's
Like
oh.
Like, are there other, like, who is Cupid's associated with? Like, is he like a Greek, like, is he hanging out with Zeus or something?
Cupid and Zeus.
Well, just,
Isn't he like the god of lightning or something?
well, yeah, I mean, but he's Greek.
He is Greek. You're right. Which I think I get what you're saying.
Or maybe it's
Is it possible?
maybe Cupid's got like a reverso brother that shoots people with arrows that makes them fall out of love.
Oh, yeah.
And so Cupid's got to fight him,
Yeah.
but also like correct the damage that's being done like while. So you could almost have like, hey, you got this Cupid versus, reverso Cupid.
Uh-huh.
And then you've also got a traditional rom-com going on in the background. Because you like rom-coms. I mean, it's a standard staple of like meet cute.
It's safe formula.
There's some sort of misunderstanding.
Yep.
They both dig themselves way too deep on the misunderstanding.
Yep.
Then they end up getting it together and they kiss at the end. That's the movie.
I think you nailed
The laughs aren't even required. The comedy isn't even required. That is the rom-com formula.
Honestly, there's not really much comedy from the main characters within a rom-com. It's generally from a side character that brings the comedy to the table, generally a friend of the people. Usually the guy and the girl both have a friend. Those two people are funny, and they're the confidants, and they kind of keep the laughs coming, and they keep their head right. They're just kind of like the.
Well, they're always the one that's just like, oh, you can't take that at face value. I mean, this is just a misunderstanding.
Yes.
The main character's got to be like, who are you? Get away from me.
Yep.
And it's because I got shot by reverso Cupid.
What if Cupid? We have a movie rom-com. Cupid shoots the wrong person. Then tries to correct it, shoots a completely different person, and then the two main characters become the side friend characters, and then the side characters become the main characters because they got shot by the arrows, and then the whole movie is about how those two, although shot with the arrows, are falling in love, but they're not compatible, but the two side friends are. And the whole movie's about making the two side friends actually fall for each other despite not getting shot with Cupid's arrow. What do you think?
Well, and just think about the lessons that Cupid could learn along that way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's got to be a moral in there for Cupid.
Yeah.
Like, hey, even when you screw up, it can be put right.
They can put, yeah. See, you just said the whole trailer. Like that's on the movie poster. What you just said's on the movie poster. And Cupid, there's like little side, because Cupid's not really actually in any of the scenes with the main characters, but they keep cutting to Cupid trying to figure out what's going on because he screwed up big time.
Yeah,
like he's got his own people he's got to answer to.
So you're thinking Bateman for Cupid, right?
Bateman would be perfect. Yes, Bateman, buddy. I know you don't listen to the pod, But if you are this episode, please, we're casting you. This is going to be great.
But I mean, there's got to be a chance for an expanded universe here.
Yo, yeah. This could be big.
I mean, this is the Cupid with Christmas. I mean, that's half-assed. That's
too easy.
Yeah, that's too easy. But yes,
Anything could be a Christmas movie.
If Cupid's doing this and also a badass archer assassin, I mean, Halloween's an obvious tie-in.
Yep.
4th of July could be a tie-in.
4th of July when Cupid celebrates America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be big. I mean,
we invented the holiday.
Casey Moe.
And Casey Moe.
Yeah, that's the thing is this kind of is.
So maybe it's the Canadians are trying to take over the country and end Valentine's Day.
It's an American holiday, obviously.
And Cupid's got to go up there and, enforce on them.
So the movies suck. I mean, we've agreed that the movies with Cupid suck, and we don't have like the Mage movie to say this is the Cupid movie.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's a million songs with love in the title that you could, at Valentine's Day or even around Valentine's Day be like, this one speaks to me right now. What are like some of your favorite songs that have like love in the title?
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Okay, I'm going to let you think about that. Let's take our first poem break. These are poems written with love or Valentine's Day on the mind.
I call this Love Poem by Eric Larson. Love, like the Vikings, strong and true. Together we cheer, just me and you. Pepperoni pizza, shared with delight. Laughter and joy through the night. The twins on the field, hearts in sync. Kittens purring, a soft little wink. A cold Budweiser, a quiet cheer. In love we find warmth, year after year. I'm not a big lyrics guy.
You're not a big lyrics guy? So wait. So what would you say then about a song that has maybe just all right, so you don't have a big lyrics guy. Is there any like songs about love or about Valentine's Day that you're like, yeah, I'm feeling that one?
Well, the Eve 6, the Heart in the Blender song.
The heart. Oh, because it's got a just not even. Okay.
Harvey Danger flagpole sitta.
Flagpole sitta? How?
What do you mean how?
That song's kind of making a comeback.
It is. Well, it's in that commercial.
Yeah, it's I've seen it, and like All American Rejects are back, like as a band, and the first piece of music they put out back as a band was a cover of that very song.
Was it?
Yeah, like they were.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so I guess we're just screwing around on the bus, like playing the song, like just for fun, and they're like, we should cover this. Like, why don't we put it out? It's the first thing they put out back as a band.
Wow.
That song's making a comeback.
See, this was my plan all along.
Was to get to that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like 3 degrees of love song. Like,
Yeah.
We're just a couple songs away.
Oh, speaking of 3 degrees, so you know the game like 7 degrees or 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. Yeah. We like taught that game like to the kids, like, hey, there's this thing, and it's like crazy real. And we're just kind of explaining the Kevin Bacon thing, and they're like, no, that's dumb. Like, that's just not even possible. So then we're taking, like, even young stars that would have nothing to do with Kevin Bacon in today. There's new people right now we could trace back to him within even a couple of steps now. If anything, it's made it easier. And minds were blown that day. I mean, they just could not gather that this was a thing.
Minds blown in a positive direction, or was this more of just like, why? What's wrong with you people?
I think a lot of it was like, why him? Yeah. How is this possible? And like who found out about this? Just the research and the wanting to know about the Kevin Bacon thing. It was wild, but it's so true. I mean, you can literally find anybody.
Yeah,
we traced me back to Kevin Bacon within like 4 steps. Like it was insanely easy to do.
That's why I don't remember exactly, but I remember there's a couple of those different touch points where it was just like there were so many people or so many things that intersected with him at this point that it was just a matter of how do you get
there? Yeah, but it actually ended up being fairly easy to get to pretty much anybody. Yeah, it's wild.
What kind of songs about love do you like?
I'm a big lately Love Story, Taylor's version. Obviously I'm supporting the new version and not the original because we know why, right? That's obviously by Taylor Swift. Love Shack, B-52s, classic. Did you know the B-52s performed on Saturday Night Live?
I hope they didn't play that song.
They did play that song. What's wrong with Love Shack? It's like the Monster Mash. It's like you have to listen to Monster Mash on Halloween. You got to listen to Love Shack.
This is very uncomfortable because I believe love what you want to love. But Love Shack is not a good song.
Love Shack's a classic. California Love, Tupac, Dr. Dre. How do you feel about California Love?
I could probably rap it right now. I've heard that song many, many times in my life.
Absolute classic. We were talking about like things that were tied in. People now, it's like I briefly brought up President's Day and like mattress sales. Like there's just things you have to do for certain holidays, right? That seems to be one of them. If you run a mattress or a furniture store, you're running a sale on President's Day. I don't understand why, but everybody does it. Well, at Valentine's Day, you got to have heart-shaped things.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A right now has heart-shaped biscuits.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that just means the chicken's just hanging out on one side?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the chicken, yeah. But do you not like that? Do you like the equal biscuit to chicken?
Oh, yeah, you got to have the right ratio.
I don't mind it. It's kind of like eating a tenderloin. Like you want it just hanging off that bitch.
What are you, a spicy or a regular?
I can do spicy. Yeah. Actually, I have become a fan of the flavor of spicy. I have become somebody who absolutely dreads the next morning after a spicy. But I do very much enjoy the flavor of spicy.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I like to think it is. When I'm eating it, I love it, and I'm like, this is worth it. This is going to be okay. The next day, sometimes even that very night, I do not wish I would have made the choice to eat it.
And then,
we're all getting older.
Give it about 36 hours, and you're just like, I can go for a spicy biscuit right now.
Go back for another one. Yeah, why not? No, I do enjoy a spicy. How about you? Do you go with the regular? Or you going with the hot stuff?
Spicy every single time. That's my favorite thing about Chick-fil-A breakfast. By the way, another sponsor of the pod.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is a restaurant that are fast. Would you call them fast food?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a fast food chicken place that is sponsoring the pod specifically on Sundays. So if you're listening to the episode on a Sunday, your sponsor is Chick-fil-A.
It's fast food, but sometimes it takes a while to get to the ordering window or to the counter.
No, they're super fast. You think it takes a while?
I guess maybe I'm thinking more towards like the COVID stuff when you'd have the triple loop around the store type of deal.
Oh, they still do that, but their ability to have multiple people working it, they're very organized. They've it's kind of, I hate to say they're like a cult, because knowing, there are things that their leaders believe in, but it's like they're kind of cultish in their training. They are hardcore in their regimen from the beginning to end of their service, and it makes them very, very good.
Yeah.
But it's nuts that they can be that good and dedicated to the craft.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Everything from, posture to just, courtesy.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, yeah.
They're
Definitely.
100. And it's like, okay, you can train, the best of the best. They're like is it Hilton? There's a hotel that their level of service is like bar none above anything, anybody, anywhere else. Dave Portnoy talks about it. He was just like, this place is like the peak level of high-end service of hotels. But it's like, then you get like another hotel chain that has like a training program as well. They also say you're going to have elite service, but it's not. Like, they're kind of lazy with it. I mean, you see it everywhere in businesses you go to. Man, Chick-fil-A, whatever they're doing it right.
And it's kind of funny because there's another chicken place based out of Louisiana, and I've just come to realize that I will never get good service there.
Popeyes?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just going to say.
Like, no matter which one I've got, like, the food's great.
Yeah.
The food is really, really good, but I just know that they're going to have, like, 1/10 of the people in there, and it's going to take me about 3 times longer to get my food. But, you just got to live with it.
Apparently, if you got to have the blood oath that those folks at Chick-fil-A have to get that from them.
This poem is called Conqueror's Heart. It's written from the perspective of Napoleon Bonaparte. I'm tall, the tallest Frenchman, proud, but in your love I stand unbowed. Like Neapolitan ice cream, bold and sweet, your love lifts me off my feet. Like water slides, wild and free, together we conquer, just you and me. Ridley Scott's a hack, a fool at best. His vision of me, just a failed test. And no, I'm no Napoleon Dynamite. I'm the true conqueror in history's light. Your love is my victory, pure and true. A crown I wear, all for you.
Oh, man, Valentine's Day. It's all about love. Things that you love. What kind of things do you love? Just in general in life.
Why are we... You hit me with a lot of questions here.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'll tell you something that I love. I'll start with. I absolutely love when I make eye contact with somebody and I say hi to them and even flash a smile and they dart their eyes away, walk directly past me, and don't even say a friggin' word.
That happens to you a lot?
Fucking love that. Oh, very often.
Like when you're in the store type of a thing?
When I'm at work, when I'm in the store, when I'm just out in public, when I'm walking around my house. There's places everywhere I go. It's like I can't be seen. And they just, eye contact. Eye contact is a very intentional piece of intimacy almost. It's
Right.
like it's a strong connection. If I look you in the eye and I say hi, and you dart away and then have the nerve to walk right past me still, like almost shoulder, brushing shoulders, like at least go the other way.
You want them to turn around?
Why not? I'd rather them go all the way in and just be like, I refuse to acknowledge you, even around you. Instead, they walk right by me.
That's
just go all in if you're going to ignore me.
That's many decades ago. I thought that the word howdy was funny. So instead of saying hi, I just started saying howdy. No, I don't have any, I don't own a pair of cowboy boots. I don't have a cowboy hat. I don't like country music. But to this day, I say howdy about 80% of the time when I say hi to people. So I guess I always just took that I aversion and the running away to just be like, oh, well.
Because you said howdy.
Yeah, they're like overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. Like they don't know how to react to that.
I believe you should continue to say howdy, but now start dressing like Woody from Toy Story.
Or I thought you were maybe going to say add the howdy partner. Like
howdy partner.
Let's start some conjunctions on the back of this. Howdy partner.
Howdy partner. Yeah, I mean if you're gonna if you're gonna completely put yourself in the bit, you might as well dress the part. But
I'm getting ready to. I'm going on a trip to Europe. So of course, you kind of peruse like, hey, the local norms, customs. You look at Reddit for articles that are entitled, "Hey, how do you tell like an American? How do you tell that an American's over here?" And one of the biggest tells that Europeans call out is making eye contact with people you don't know, saying hi, smiling at them, all this kind of stuff. It's just not done over there.
that can't be real.
Yeah,
is that a real?
You don't do the acknowledgement. That's a very American thing.
So you're telling me I have put myself in a position of like completely throwing off anybody not American in my entire life
Yeah.
just by simply saying hi and having eye contact?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like my world is literally blown right now. Like I had no idea.
Yeah, they're just the casual friendliness to strangers is not a thing in most countries.
Yeah, you're making me rethink a lot. Like maybe I just need to back off a little bit.
That's it makes me remember a story that I had heard from somebody that was I think they were a professor over there for like a semester, and they had gone over to a colleague's house for dinner. They had done the dinner, and when they were leaving, it's just like, okay, well, this was great. We'll have to do it again sometime. We'll see you later. And the guy got approached the next day at work from the person that invited him over there, and was just like, hey, we did have a good time, but we're not going to be able to do this again next week. And so, the guy had to explain like, no, I didn't, I wasn't making a commitment. But the guy was concerned that he just thought that, hey, I'd be able to show up same day, same time. You guys would make me dinner again. Like, we'll see you later. Like, no. We can't spend that much time with you.
That's so
like
funny.
They took it very literally.
Wow. That's kind of the premise of the new Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd movie. That's good. Did you watch the trailer for that?
I did.
It's kind of the same thing where he's just like, hey, yeah, we had a couple good hangs, but we got to kind of, we're not doing this again.
Yep.
That's funny. Man, you just don't know. Like, this is just all we know, right? You don't know what other people know and how they live in their cultures, and you just kind of live your life, and you just don't know how other people perceive the things you're saying. I had no clue that me saying hi, smiling to people that come from other places would be like, that's very off-putting. Like, that's a pretty normal, nice like thing to do in my world, right? Wow. That's actually pretty funny. Another thing I love, wet socks.
Oh, yeah?
Love a good wet sock.
Like what kind of wet we talking about here?
Well, if it's like let's say it's raining outside, you've got shoes on, you've got socks on as well.
Standard outerwear.
Got it. And let's say you were to like step in a puddle, and it just kind of encompasses your whole foot, and it just kind of gets a little soak.
Deep puddle.
Fucking love that. Yeah, soak it up, get that squish. You know when you're walking and you can just feel and hear the squish, like as you're walking. Oh man, that's a feeling that you don't get very often, but when you do, it's like I'm living right now.
Yep.
Like I am living. And then go home, take the shoes off. You got them wet, soaked. Sometimes they get discolored, from the shoe and stuff, or when they get wet. It's pretty incredible.
Don't you love that too? Because it's like, you take them off in your entryway because obviously you don't want to get your whole house messy.
Yeah.
And so you can see the footprints, the wet footprints from your shoes.
Yep.
You take the shoes off, and then you leave wet footprints of the sock or the bare foot.
Of the sock.
Even.
But then then you have to peel the sock off, right? And it gets heavy, because it's like soaked. And then your foot is like this cold, like it's not wet anymore.
Yeah.
But it's got that kind of damp cold to it.
Oh yeah. Looks like it's been in like the bathtub for too long.
Yeah. It's kind of got that wrinkle. It's got that wrinkle going. It's different, and it's not something that you experience every day, but it's something that when it happens, fucking love it. Love a good wet sock.
Yeah. Something I didn't even think about today. I mean, it was so cold outside. Mm-hmm. It was snowing here outside, but snow, it's too cold to melt. So no opportunity to get a wet sock. But what I love is when you get some snow on the ground here and you're driving along, the snow on the roads and everything, and you get those guys that are just going like way too fast for conditions.
Oh, yeah.
And they just like blaze past you.
Well, they're good drivers.
So yeah, you're going, 40 in the 60-mile zone.
Yeah.
And these guys are going like 70.
Yeah. But those people, it's like when that happens, I don't even fear for myself, on the road, dangerous conditions. I don't feel unsafe. I think I'm not a good enough driver. That guy gets it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my head's at.
And I mean, both of us, we've had corrective vision. You've
Yep.
got the glasses, contacts, that type of stuff.
Yep.
I had to get laser eyes to correct mine.
Yeah. Just careful
But-
with those. You don't want to shoot anybody.
Yeah. But, I still feel like I need some work because I'm having trouble picking out the lane in the road. But those guys,
They know.
they know.
But that's
they
the
know
thing.
exactly where they're supposed to be. And so I have to correct myself based on them.
Right. They're the epitome of the Back to the Future line, where we're going, we don't need roads. They just kind of fly over the roads themselves, over the lanes, through the snow, the ice, the slush. They know where they're heading.
Yeah.
Okay? They're the driven people that have goals. They hit goals, and then they make even harder goals.
Well, this whole episode's about love. What if those people driving so fast are pursuing, a separated love?
Well, it kind of makes sense. Valentine's always falls in the winter.
Because we're looking at the road.
Right.
But for all we know, Cupid could be flying ahead of that car.
Yeah.
Guiding them on their way.
Guiding them. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's the climax of the movie, right?
Yep.
That's got to be the climax
They
of the
are
movie.
getting weaved and pulled through life to get to the ultimate destination, which is their loved one who's leaving on an airplane.
Yep.
And they've got to catch them before they board the plane. Because if they were to board the plane, they'll never see them again. We know this. You can't just get on a flight and follow them or drive and fly, follow them. This is it.
Yep.
If they get on that plane, it's over.
Yep.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Now, when I'm driving, snowy conditions, bad weather, and somebody's flying through, I'm not only going to think, God, wish I could do that. I'm going to be thinking, somebody found love.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We got to get Bateman on the phone.
Get Bateman. Bateman's perfect for these movies.
Yeah. I'm thinking he can play Cupid and the main lead.
Both?
Yeah.
Actually, genius. Genius. He plays both, but they both act different. Well, can Bateman play a different?
Oh, he's got range.
Does
He's
he?
got a lot of range.
Bateman seems like a guy. This is who he is.
Well, I mean, you'd have Arrested Development Bateman,
Yeah,
who would be the Cupid, obviously, because he's kind of a bumbling guy.
kind of bumbling idiot.
And then you got like Ozark Bateman. That would
oh,
be,
true.
like,
He's
the
a little
main
more
character.
conniving, a
Yeah.
little serious. Okay, all right, little more. Yeah, I get it.
Character that you can really root for.
So you root for.
Yeah, you got to really be pulling for.
He's never played a character you root for. That's for damn sure. He's a character you enjoy watching. He's a character that when he talks, you're like, yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. But
Yo.
he's not a guy you root for. That's funny. Bateman he's got to play both.
He's got
He's got to play both.
He has to.
Yes. That's great. But if Bateman plays both, Cupid in this instance can't be the chubby baby. Cupid's got to be in like a red suit, pink suit.
A red suit. You got Christmas on the mind. Stop thinking about Cupid Christmas.
Are you
But, I mean,
telling
just-
me Valentine's doesn't have red
I think-
related to it?
I think you could CGI.
You could CGI. So it's just his face? It's his head on a chubby baby? This is now CGI. The budget's climbing. Not
Well-
only did we cast Bateman in 2 roles, now we have CGI involved.
Well, and plus the baby's an assassin, a ninja.
Bateman's playing the assassin ninja? It's a whole other movie.
Oh.
Yes. There's a whole franchise of Cupid shit I think we can do. Like there's a whole thing here. Think
That's
about
good.
it. Yeah.
That's really good.
Think about it. This has got some good levels to it. You know who else I love? When's the last time you were at Target?
It's been a couple weeks.
Okay. So Target, you ever go back to the electronics area and they always have those like cell phone salespeople now?
You know,
Love them. Those people, you walk by, they're like, "Hey, who do you have for a cell phone service?" And I'm like, "Verizon," and they're like, "Oh, great." I could have said anything in that moment, and they would have said, "Oh, great, I'm going to save you money." It doesn't matter if I have the very service they're trying to sell me. They would have said, "Oh, great, I'm going to save you some money." I love that.
Yeah.
The positivity, the energy they have to come save me money.
That they're going to benefit you.
Yes.
That they're going to make your life better.
Yep.
I wish other people would do that.
One time I'm walking and they're like, "Hey, who do you use?" And I'm like, "Oh, here's how it started." I said hi. And the lady's like, "Oh, hey, who do you use for service?" And I'm like, "Oh, Verizon, don't you?" And then she's like, "Well, how do you feel about it?" "I love it. I have a Verizon my whole life. Love them. Not leaving them. Like, love them. Awesome. Here, let me ask you a question." And I'm just like, "Well, all right, I'll listen to their spiel." Because sometimes it's just kind of, I'm a nerd. Like, I love to hear sales techniques.
I don't think that's a nerd category. Like, I think
like
nerd
I'm a crazy person.
Well, no, like a nerd is somebody like I like, knights
Planets.
and horses. And
Okay.
I like sci-fi and
not salespeople. So then she goes through, she puts in my stuff. It's a whole thing, and then it turns out, and I remember I have no intentions of switching my service or doing whatever she's selling me. I'm just along for the ride. So then she gets to the end, and I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm good. And blew her mind. Could not understand what I was doing. I'm just like, listen, I think what you're doing is great. Because I do. I think what they're doing is fantastic.
Did you make physical contact with the salesperson at this time? Did
we high five?
Did you pat her on the back?
I did not.
Was this like a serious did you channel dad energy?
She tried.
Sometimes you can channel dad energy through the hand into the.
There
shoulder.
There was a moment in the series of questions where whatever I answered, she gave me a fist bump for. So I did do the fist bump.
Okay.
But I didn't belittle her, if that's what you're asking, and pat her on the head and be like, "This is really good." I never did any of that. But in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I love Verizon. I'm not leaving. Verizon actually sponsoring this side of the podcast episode this week. So this is great. And I'm just like, but I love what you're doing. I love your strategy. I loved everything about what's happening here.
I could tell that you loved it because as you were telling me the story, you would avert your eyes and look away. Yeah. Which as we've stated before that is an approval mechanism right there. Mm-hmm. It's you make eye contact, you say what you're going to say, and then you get out of there.
Yeah. No, I just think it's fun, people doing their jobs and doing it at a high level. I did appreciate, her willingness to be excited when I told her very basic things about my cell phone plan. And, that's just fun. Like the energy, she's going places, I guess, was kind of my
What was this person's name?
No clue. No clue. Didn't care. And it's not that I don't care that she has a name. I'm excited that she has a name.
Names are important.
Names are important. Everyone loves to hear their name. I just didn't care to remember it beyond that moment, I guess. So I moved on.
It's kind of, it's amazing as you just talk about these chances for people to share who they actually are and really get that out in the world. And so I love my apartment, my gym.
Yeah.
There. I'll do some treadmill, I'll do some different stuff, maybe listen to a podcast or, do something while I'm in there. Mm-hmm. And what I love is when people in there use the TVs and then turn the volume up really, really loud so that they can hear it over the treadmill.
Yeah, because it's loud.
Yeah.
Especially if they're running.
Yeah.
They need to hear what's happening.
Then I get to hear what they're listening to instead of what I'm listening to.
Yes.
So again, you have this just great melting pot of I wonder what they're going to watch.
Have you ever considered...
I wonder what we're going to watch.
Have you ever considered that in a world where you have earbuds or headphones in and you could listen to your own thing, that somebody might be more important than you? That's where, in that situation, that's how I would feel. Yeah. I would be like, you know what? You have a good point, sir. I know you didn't ask me how I felt about this, but good point.
Actually, not. I think about it. It's very selfish of me to keep, the podcast to myself.
Yeah.
So I think next time I go to the gym, I need to bring, my Bluetooth speaker in there.
Blast
And
that
when
shit.
they have that, I'll blast this episode.
Yes.
That way they know how
what's
much
up.
I appreciate them.
Yeah. I think how fun would it be. They turn the volume up. It's loud, right? You can't hear your own thing. And you like turn off your whatever you're listening to. You start intently watching and listening to what but now you're commenting on it and talking to them about it.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, that's great. Oh, they got the wrong one. And just start spouting out like things about it. Like, if you're going to turn it on for everybody.
He's behind door number one. He's
Yeah.
behind door number one.
Like, if you're going to do that, if you're going to take over the room, let's all get in on it. Like, let's go.
That would be a great plan, but I'm one of the kind of people that if I'm looking at something on the treadmill that's to my left, I'm going to fall off that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You have to look to the right?
I'm one of the people that they have those bars on the side of the treadmill to like keep me in place because if my attention strays to the right or the left, I'll unconsciously start walking that direction.
You're a guy that if it had a seatbelt, you'd wear it on the treadmill.
I have clipped the emergency stop
Yeah.
line to my shorts before.
How fast do you go?
I get a good 4 miles an hour.
Okay. All right. That's brisk.
You know?
That's okay. So it's not like you're just
Yeah.
bumbling around. Like you're going.
Yeah, I've got places to be.
Yeah, you really do. How long do you go at that rate, the 4 miles per hour? How long are you going on the treadmill?
Well, I mean, recently I've been doing 4 miles a day.
Okay.
So
Pretty good.
I got this Europe trip, and the one thing about Europe,
Yeah, you're walking.
you're on your feet, you're walking the entire time. So I got to make sure that the heart and the legs are willing.
So
ready.
you're training and working out for purpose,
Yeah.
and not just for health.
Well, and I want to be ready too, because another thing that I love is when I'm at the airport, and there are people at the airport that don't know what they're doing, where they're going, or how to get there.
What are you talking about?
So just the people that the people that don't have TSA pre-check that are going through, and we got to take our shoes off now. Oh, we got to take our coats off. Like they show up to the front, the metal detectors, and they don't have everything ready, and so they've got all the questions. Like the TSA officers have to repeat the instructions. Like every 20 seconds, they got to say like all shoes in the bin. Like, these are the people that didn't hear it the first 20 times that they said shoes in the bin. And now are at the front of the line
And now
with their
they're-
shoes still on their feet.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a quick process for them to get those shoes up there.
All right, here's the thing. Like I love those people too. The people who are oblivious to the world, right?
Yeah.
The people who have flown multiple times and since 2001 and they understand the restrictions and the process,
Yeah.
right? But they're shocked every time that they get there, which then slows it down. That's the thing. TSA pre-check. How fast does that actually get you through the line faster?
I mean, Omaha here,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever flown out of Omaha and had it take longer than 3 minutes for me to get from standing there, waiting for the guy to call me up and going through the.
So it's
electronic
clutch.
thing. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
an absolute.
It used to be a challenge to me when my folks would drop me off when I'd be up here to visit to see how fast I could go from their car to my gate.
Wow.
And I think that was my record was 3 minutes and 15 seconds one time.
But that doesn't give you. Well, I guess that gives you more time then to hit the airport bar.
Yep. And if there's one thing I love, it's an $18 beer.
Yeah.
But I get to look out the window and see airplanes.
Correct. I was just about to say, it's not about the price of the beer. It's about the atmosphere and the experience of it. And that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
That's just like, you're not going to pay. Like I bought 2 beers at the Creighton basketball game last night and it was $22. I didn't bat an eye.
Yeah.
Not because I have all this money to buy beers, but because I knew I was paying for the experience and the atmosphere and where I was at. Like I know I could complain about it, but then what does that do? It gets
Yeah.
me no beer. So
That's,
that's just kind of where I was at.
That's the when I used to go to the Braves games in Atlanta.
Yep.
I'd buy the cheapest ticket just to get in.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm not spending more than $30 to go to this game.
Right.
If there's not a $30 ticket, then I'm just not going to go.
Right. Because you're going to buy beers.
But I would buy that $30 ticket or I'd buy that $10 ticket and then I'd have, 3 beers on top of that, that would be $50-$60.
But now I've paid the price of what that expensive ticket might have been. Yep. That's just kind of how it is. I do appreciate too the airport bar and like that situation you get through, like you were saying, you get through the people you love, which is the people who slow down the process. You get through them. And it's kind of like your reward then is to have a ice cold beer while you're waiting in a situation where everybody's waiting and tense about being there on time. Everybody's in the same boat now. Everybody is in that moment of, am I going to get where I need to go on time? Do I have time for this? Or am I killing time? Like everybody's in that same boat. It's kind of nice.
I love, having that little bit of that arrogance at the airport. Like, I've flown a few times. Yeah, my flight's not for, it's another 30 minutes, but I know that, 15 of that's going to be them letting, first class in.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll take another beer.
Right. You know what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not beyond, getting a little flustered then when it gets to about 5 minutes out. And it's just like, I need that check.
Yeah.
Now, all right, picture this in your head. Opening scene of the movie. Bateman is at the airport bar. Orders his second beer. He's got an empty right in front of him. Orders that second beer. And in the action of him reaching over to grab the beer, the bottle slips in his hand. Well, Cupid is off to the left shooting the arrow, and the bottle, wobbling on the table is just enough to hit Cupid's arrow off and make it hit the wrong person.
So he goes for the second one. It ricochets off the bottle?
Yeah. So
hits somebody else?
Hits somebody else. And so then you have this symmetry in the movie of the first scene is Bateman at the bar by himself, obviously.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you've got Cupid guiding Bateman's car to the airport to, reconnect him, reunite him with his true love.
And there's our story.
Finn.
Oh, this thing is going to be so good.
Yeah.
This is going to be like an all-time Valentine's Day themed movie. It's going to be an all-time Cupid movie. And it's going to be the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And I think, because like Valentine's Day, there's an actual movie called Valentine's Day. Ashton Kutcher stars in it. There's this like theorizing of Cupid, in the air. Like Cupid's in the air, but there's not an actual guy.
Yeah. Well,
That's
there's not
the difference.
There's not just a guy. Bateman.
You got Bateman. Gosh, I love Bateman. Is it too late to get Bateman on this episode to like kind of pitch it, talk about it?
I'm pretty sure I told Johnny to give him a ring about 30 minutes ago.
Johnny, it's not that hard to get a guy. He's got one of the largest podcasts in the world. Right now. You would
so obviously
think,
he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, you're right.
What other reason would you spend that much time to a podcast?
Anybody podcasting has time on their hands, and it would be great, to just kind of spitball some things with him. That would be fun. This is a poem from the perspective of Cisco called Thongs and Love. She walks in, thongs shining bright, got my heart racing, feels so right. It's not just the thong, it's the way she moves. Her love's got me grooving, I can't lose. Thongs on the floor, love in the air. I'm all about the rhythm, but she's my care. The thongs are sweet, but love's the key. Cisco heart beats for you and me. So let's dance, let the thongs swing. This love's the realest thing. It's not just about what you wear. It's the love we got beyond compare. Man, Valentine's Day. We learned a lot today.
Yeah.
We learned a lot today.
Reason to celebrate that second Friday in February.
Yep. The second Friday of February 14th, every single year. So, hold on. The second Friday of February every year, February 14th, Valentine's Day. That's how you remember it. That's how you book it. That's how you remember it. That's founded in Kansas City, Missouri.
By an Irishman.
By an Irishman in 1910 that ran a company that in 1954 eventually became the Hallmark Company. So this is the type of, we might get community noted, I think.
What I'm looking forward to is 100 years from now when somebody's doing their podcast.
Yeah.
And they're like, Cupid won.
Cupid. Yes.
The OG Cupid movie that spawned 60 sequels.
60 sequels, all starring Jason Bateman.
Yep.
That's it's gonna be awesome.
God, I've already got Cupid 4.
Whoa, you're in this deep. 4?
Yeah. So we got Cupid Bateman.
Yep.
We got Patrick Bateman, the character, and then we got
Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
All right. So we got Bateman the baby then.
Okay.
And I'm thinking Bateman plays all 3.
So Bateman. So hold on. Is Jason Bateman playing the character Patrick Bateman in the third one?
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
Cupid became a ninja in the second movie.
Yup.
When he was trying to be a matchmaker.
Yup.
For Patrick Bateman.
For Patrick Bateman.
I mean, he knows his kink.
Yeah, I love it. That's incredible. Oh, man. That's good stuff. Well, that's, you know what? Somebody somewhere in Hollywood's going to listen to this episode and they're going to make a lot of money because we didn't trademark this shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming on Laugh With Me, Eric.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This poem is written by somebody that we lost this past year, Mr. O.J. Simpson. O.J. ran fast, alleged at play, a football star, admired each day, but shadows fell, a trial took flight, a nation watched through day and night. The glove didn't fit, the world was torn, fame and scandal, a life reborn. From touchdowns to courtroom cries, a legacy stained beneath the skies.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.